me de ensemble se du etu nanim me de me bisa no se anye bia no eyampa na se eyampa na na do be ya no nana menimu se wo fie no ekọ nanim bia no wontimi enyi ano mame. But the issue is very simple. The person na modishie bitwam wachim ansa na makọkọduru eye obokọ. Entisanye bia no wo de ensam no sumame a na mesoso makọkọ kama o. Na na se ne ya ni mpanifo ka ne yesuma obanyansafo na emu yesuma den anamontenten. Anye jimifo sabi bia na yesuma no. Na nanti adua na ni dehye po meme kwa mempadu odi nkra no to manimu a mede bekọ kokan na na se bekọ kan se ne ese ni se ne efata na na medi kai bisa o se anye bia no 1.2 million eye gallop Ghana Accountability and Learning Outcomes Project Ghana Education Service ene de bae say yen famwa eye the less endowed schools say na be addition na omusu na ye be shimu kina say ye bie school a pempi no first na ka September say dia ba January bia ni school no wo ni continuous assessment say sika ni ye de beto bia ni school no ye ni maka say sika bia ni ye de beto 1.2 million bia ni school no bia white marker board no eno asay say sika bi na ye de beto yen say entraining eye ebia school for anase teacher for sabi say na ba mbetumi akoye adwuma nana say sika wuru ye kro ye nana enche bia ni school management committee the newly constituted one assembly member eka ho eye the chiefs of the area eso eka ho PTA for reps eka ho your chairman eka ho the vice chairman eka ho nana me ameti ya eka say me the financial secretary of a renowned school in Nkommo meka ho talking about the newly constituted school management committee nana obedie di say eye sa nipa ya select omu ni nyina no nana ye call training for only 2 days 40 Ghana cedis nana say bi hweme me akwakra we udi hye akwakra we ameti ane mo call training 2 days ni ama me 40 Ghana cedis banana esa ya ro say sa sika 1.2 million no ye de ma ye wow minister wo kofa no from America mribi de ne bae Dr. Aduchum e de ne bae so ma me handle education in Ghana no o say sika ne wen fa or ministry's account and if you are training yen call ministry's account and as yen call on a bank no one more can say says can moye bibi a friend say training or banking hall we are says can yen be fantu amuka. Is that the case? Nana I come here say the educational system of the country no nana you are not being serious, you are not being fair, you are not being strategic when it comes to educational issues in Ghana. Nana say asam na me kan wote nana me say come here and say the educational system of Ghana you are not being fair, you are not being strategic, you are not being proactive when it comes to education, especially at the basic school level. You are not serious. Me na me kan say na asam ne tie no a nana say ma di kan ka say me dey have me tap petrol mutuna etimi tise ne enkwara bi keka otrotro mu a na me so ma tenche nwa na ma be bon amane e wa banku amu no ahwe se ne niema na ekọ nana de ma me fa no si baabi nana ubeka ya nansi na ubeka ya say year of road part 1 year of road part 2 why over 10,000 kilometer roads. Nana how true is that? Because research actually say you were around 67,000 kilometers of roads the entire nation kitwa bi ne ka ho nana tuba cha me say nana wadaroma o pa cha me say a year within 5 years what me 10,000 kilometer roads. Nana ya ni me patch na o say hwemkrofo wo de mo tuetu ya adwuma no papa ya no okoko the minister of the agri o so afie na me kana asemi ananye ono a say ono a o committee ya wadasa wonyane ya o se brode duro 3 Ghana cedis. How possible? Nana wada ya ne bi no catch me say wo na woda nana omoboa nana nye wa you don't sleep at meetings oko UN meetings you don't sleep oko ECOWAS meetings you don't sleep oko UN meetings you don't sleep agri minister ono da o de bia no abre nana o try play mo for about 6 hours na ya na o chata no 6 hours 9 hours okodu ba bia na wa bre na bia o tonko nana you don't sleep nana 10,000 kilometer roads fine Nana yenko baby o yenko amasama feature here fise enkwanta here. Nana ba ne say no so why 10,000 kilometer roads na so to ana yi afa kwan mu ho. How possible? Nana ya na yesi e boda mo ye dififie o. Ye boda mo ye dififie na sem enkwanta here enkran kwanta here enkran feature here na se so to na se yiri na se fa nipa okwan mu ho a then Nana what are you telling me? Nana chesi ba kun am wakwanta wadada o. Wo boa so be kan say toilet ye abolish ye the be friends toilet sa ro kan ye ohun na nye bia ne ka gina na obi she toilet mu ye be bisa na ye se be okwaja na enti ka na parking train no na so why be popo ye obe kan say sa ni mo ye na fine na so be kan say syndicated loans ye cocoa loans ye kwaji ye Sunday ni akotra friends be possible baby see ye press conference pedua se na making 600 million no na sa sika no e wo fa. These are the questions I me decide. See at the back we had the baby cocoa rules. Nana buy any see a audit. Audit na no. Nana kwani be say kopia or tema. Tema cocoa and you do or tema. 600 million nana sense can away. Cocoa bisa sankrofo here. Cocoa board boss. Okojuna baby see anya syndicated loan 600 million. Maybe I'm a person can see this, I'm making euros, and I say dollars, whatever the case, can I soon? Nana says, can I wait? Nana uncle for no more dada. One more air dada, Minister of Education, Dr. Duchum Bekajon said 1.2 million is sitting down in the ministry's account. Nana friend, oh, the number, my friend, Makachen say, hey, you minister, someone kind, oh boy, the money is nowhere to be found. What do? Nana don't want to collect that outside. Nana yen hwe sa 600 million ya ye kan ho asemi cocoa road nana nanu ye mi kwa suboni race kokompe e ho na me kopa akutu bi di ye nana ekwan no enye cocoa no mu ye ka wura mentimi mabonten then you allow this man to come and deceive you says akwan ye kwakwa ye cocoa roads feeder roads sa department wa infan department of feeder roads nana wa infan omwe they are being paid every now and then your board of directors nana wo mo di o man ni sika nana wa da wona iku abonten. Why? Woman Ghana debia wo su, oman Ghana esu, se sika ni oman nu mu, o sika ni oman nu na the very people am be gina bontin dada e no. These are the very people am di oman ni sika. Na so se na nsan e kokan se ba kun. Na so bisa, mi hu se na why on se se wo bisa. Say why are they behaving like that? Nana aden no be a consultant, nana no akwa for $32 million. So the amount. I mean how? Consultant National Affairs Cathedral. No cost $32 million. Now the amount. And no, see this. Sorry. Why? Design ben or baba ye and you be a new engineer. Nana call the Kumasi call or say room. Call for tech for the level 200 students. Somebody designing my year. Nana then yes sir. How? Now people about 32 million Ghana cedis. Now what about in the name of National Cathedral? Nana wo me ye boy nsem ano na wo se na nsen so to yire fie da ba besi memenda kwesi kwesi da enso ti eto yire o man Ghana na wo danya ne ya 25 million Ghana cedis seed money National Cathedral nana why nana e kam yen syncrophobic kan o me fa choko etrotro na metimu kwa syncrophobic kan se wabubu nu yesi waso ne ye kono hunu the boys are deceiving you. You don't seem to talk about it. Nana ya no mama re kododo. Ten bia nana mefa ka medru pedua e friends e ba kun friends achim kro ho ba bi. Na me wa ho apedua junction American na me wa ho. Nana be ka is say ma ochi hene sika say friends hold the 20th anniversary. Ye man sika so fa nu aduanua. Nana nua na wo kwan no ho no. Sa je dua na wo kwan no endu be 50. GNPC my sika man sika so fa nu dua na na be wi ase san dua me na nua me konkoko me kan dua na na 50 waji se sika no koko bisa o chine na na ye bisa mo questions na nua me ko a chimba bia me ko duru hwei na na me hu se o chine ni mfichire pe ni importam ye tu galam say this is the same person because na na environmentalist. I mean how watching this environmentalist so koko do achim land and every muno adani ateche nana saa mfikyiro ba bi nana ukwaye bie V8 no ba ko na konwa dam ne akonya edam a yekọ up and down no kọtran saa akonya no mo V8 no ne bie window ne kakra ne hwa abonte so ochiman yetu galamse nana mamemra eye akonya 1 chair 1 V8 nana ade na woman crofo keka ho nsem nana meti be ene ha me getting to 80 years woman kwala di ho few e kan nsem di tiawo se nana utu free nkran ha se wo kokro bi so a nana V8 age akonya baako ene dam driver kan ho nana fuel V8 nana utia so na age credit age fuel nana wo tra hwa man crofo e be keka se wo nko a utu kan akonya da V8 baako mu ne driver nana ya de ha me nana jai nana de no man kwara di hu fe osa me de nanka menu saka be se 2.5 years o nana nanka wo kọ da se no man panyin kufo kọ ya kọ da agboko no atamo so kọ ya yenka no ho asemboni bia no mama so kọ ya me de mo so incompetent fine ya te ase why should this happen nana de mama mfasi a ka nyame ya adomo a ebranda mesa ba abobo ano ni abeto asa nkomo yi so nana batman man nkwara di hu fe o Omo babe catch everything is okay. Nana no about nkopori. Nothing is okay. Nana ka semi ni body po. Fa body anta papa no. Tuesday mesen aba ni abedi sa nkomo yi. Abusia bi sa wa mu nyina akwa babio abedwafo atnase eye Madiba. The great Madiba watnase. Ye bedi Nkommo wono eye NDC communication team member. Amasama na wo. Amasama. Constituency. Yeah. Edi ni eden amasaman ni amasa eman good ni amasa crew man no be ma o de ba etwi kasa ni ma crew enti amasa crew ti sa to be crew okay Matthias here we are very unusual yeah papa we am be boni din anopa ne ya na etahia no story anopa no abetena so no ne yedin komakonya kese ono ne ya no wotenam ene o se ha me minya na nka mete gba bi akwa me mpoduti hwei na me so no as me kan gum ageni mboaten morning show hosts active morning ene okisi epie wia awa be ka me ho misageni kwawe ya bre na obende Ghana donti ya betena se me hu se obo na Japan me mo ni ja ageni mete totom na mete se na ye kan ho asembode ya ne ha me say what to watch you o de here so de kan na ado ebebo Nkommo no be chance why should it be so o say na de Nkommo de ne baye o de anu de ne baye me NDC ni mapa tama na ba no ni nsemo kan ye almost about nana ko 3 times asa na obe de obe win election na me feel say Akufo-Addo eni nana ni MPP amamu no NDC ti mi mapa obiom da na da tia sim prekope some ka wasem na uka to aso na uka Rose ni ehunyama bebre Rose ni kra da uka akiri dumasi yakosi 3 junction usi 3 junction afamu se ukoka aso na famia me kwa aso akrama okushi bia de kopie nsawam me bedru awon future wo me ho ase me ndware na me de baaye ekwa me so free ayi atubi kromo baby na baaye unima chonye wo wansa to kromo baby Wagaza wana me free. Iso yenkra krom aya. Na nano de year of Rose. Year of this. This year my year of ayenu. Enti no boy ko makakra bi na ja ye chiche nkakra ne ento aso. So yes na ye hwe youth unemployment and I think ye be hwe in some. But ye be this Nkommo. Nkommo me ne nana kodi ye. I'm more 10,000 kilometer roads. I'm more concerned about say the kind of politicians we are having these days, politicians who are gradually making the ordinary Ghanaian angry. They don't come country kakrama me. Kakra ye share Ghana for before. And you see, one more amanyo seven. It is time they ask Omojitu Muse. The ordinary Ghanaian is always getting enlightened. I mean, every day we use so clear example. Say, me call Udumasi here. There's a gas filling station there. Me call filling gas, and then say na obo gas no price na me say hey. He said that memo ready.
ayeden yama boyden wo share sena gas attendants no or they anuye mame no na all kan sim na say you see ordinarily who na beka said nenim say onim hwe but the things that he is saying no made me to believe say people are gradually learning and the earlier our politicians realize that the better for them because we are going to chase them out of town.
We are going to chase the politicians?
Oh, but that it is clear. It is clear.
How? Me see me Janine as a issue about gas issue. Ghana, say you gas for Ghana.
Gas, yes.
Togo,
Western region.
Togo, last me by me can't ask gas are feeling 90 Ghana cedis. Togo, 40 Ghana cedis.
Are they heaven and hell? No, Ghana, you're experiencing hell. No,
hell. Last time we can't ask 40 Ghana cedis. Data I 40 ni crapo no because of currency now. Baumia,
Dr.
Baumia, the currency no say watch dollar now. The 18 amanaka there currency ni stable aka make it was a gas no motor 90 no 2000 20 Ghana because no 3,500 and I'm telling you point blank say a bit make the full 1 year 2 years that's for 40 Ghana no year 2 3,500 so cylinder kitwa na say no
baby cylinder no
yeah 3,500 but last time I feel it I see 85 or 90 Ghana cedis Togo on two
Togo dey 3,500
3,500 right
which a form change Ghana there no
bam times 3 get it times 2 3,500 that's 3,500 CFA and now
me from BI is saying
me from no because of currency na bomb shit in it me from 10 cedi that's 10 cedi 12 cedi
12 cities I think 12 cities yes
now that's what
it is 12 cities 50 pesos times 3
yeah
which is 36
yeah
and how the any 3,500 it took o converted by yen sikemu so 36 and 40 cities
that is what I said Omo wa fra nyina cross ko to petrol Togo
yes
as we are talking last time na me emergency aka meto 1 liter na dey be na dey demonstrative bi am Ghana for ni Akufo-Addo ni na mambu
Nana Akufo-Addo
president ni na mambu fun na mo bu no na ka mo hwa dey
o si Nana do gu amamu
dey ye hu no
na so sorry ko to fuel diesel onye
me free baby me free ba ya amasama ko so esimu ya no petete Ghana citizens azana me duru a it's like me kokumasi where am I papa no you for employment asem a opese ye kan ne klapo de aka me nim de tia opese ye de be ye kasa asem no
me say ehun hia
ma wan ni pada se ni suma ne ba e ma ne ko school no wa ba o ma be tiku e si unemployment youth association ai misrom Ghana ena me nua age ni kai no o ma ye ni kankan first na ye nyina no if is a politics na edomoji jojo na edomoji dom o mo katena wo mo ka kire se MP se me nya kwan MC se me nya kwan na mo tete ho edu 4 years time ni bi ma na o ma saba
Ajim ye hwa asem amadi ba ken utility services say France niema ya na use fuel e ka ho gas ka ho water so ka ho me try Cote d'Ivoire for some time like about a year always you supply some part of Cote d'Ivoire you supply friends light Togo you supply am light
you mala be light
but oko wa light bill you mutua ho no e fu chen Ghana de are we being fair and serious
Sisiano, one problem is that Sisiano, we are not on the Akosombo our survival on Akosombo dam no very high. Into ama pressure atone so.
Akosombo. Your pond dam.
Nyina woka pond dam nyina kan wa nyina no. Akusi dam Bui dam so e wo ho. They kan nyina boma the capacity is supposed to generate no into me. The national grid no just say I expanded grid no. We have a lot of people joining the national grid. And into na you face do so from Kufo time
yes for
a fire about Mills, about Mahama, and Mahama time, no, unluckily for him, it became worse under him.
But he tried solving the problem.
So it's not like he tried solving the problem. He solved it.
So what happened?
The point is, say, Sisiano, the reason why I say electricity bill air cost more, they say we are using thermal plants now, and thermal plants need more fuel. If you don't buy more fuel, you don't get it. You can't power the national grid. It's the best thing they say. And that fuel also, you don't have control over it.
You may have.
No.
A friend said Mayday. President Ahmed can say it's about 4 billion or so. It is yes, subsidies with free one. Count to the best offer.
He can't take the subsidy out because some we have about last I shared one show no so no. Now we have about 12 taxes on fuel.
You may have control over the taxes.
And now what I catch say taxes no year. No more channel.
So we are refusing to think.
That is it.
So
the point is say, you see, I know last minute Clement on the morning show, your calculation. Second, you can a bankers will eat taxes on fuel now. You better the other guy will buy a fuel. There say that is where you shoot 1 liter. It's a 1 liter, 10 cedis, 10 pesos. If you get calculation, no. If a banker will yield all the subsidies now, I mean, 1 liter was supposed to cost the ordinary Ghanaian 6 cedis to 7 cedis.
Not to say it's about 5 cedis tax in the Atoson.
About 5 cedis. Yes. That's a calculation. Yeah.
So we are being myopic. We are being selfish.
So that is why. And I make us a TUC boss. No, it make it that call. No, but that is what share active TV. Emma, yeah, explain it and say, if a banker say will you taxes now, this is the amount you are supposed to pay. I don't know they made the speech no, or the council about should take off the taxes no. But that day, my government president replied no.
President, I will not.
And you see, he's being honest. The president was being honest on that day.
Honestly, in what sense?
So a year, but you see, the point is say. We should have leaders who think outside the box. That is the problem we are having with our leaders as a country. We have leaders who don't think about the box. So government should think about the box. I mean, when they were in opposition, they made us believe, especially with Nkommo, they made us believe that they have all the solutions to.
We have the men.
We have the men. They made us believe say. They don't have the men, but they have Guru boys.
Now, we don't
have the men. We have Guru boys.
How?
We have Guru boys.
Let us say,
we have Guru boys.
Let us say, you calculate it safer now. Or see petrol, no, 1 liter is 10 cedis,
10 pesos.
It's getting to 1,000 safer is that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Getting to 1,000.
Me from.
But they are selling petrol 1 liter 700 francs.
Which is less than even the 10th way.
Yeah.
The problem is,
see, they don't think about us. They just think about their cost, their stomach, and their wealthy that they want. And no more pay. I didn't say, or we MP Babani, and an Akufa Rabani, Guru Boy.
What me describe the whole government setup?
We don't have the men. Voice. Now if we don't have Guru boys, if you don't have Guru boys, why will a minister come and tell you say body drew
Air Force.
No, we are called Yaso somewhere last week.
Cry what guy name? Friend say
make ID no Yaso. You call Yaso. Ewa there so. Ewemo. You call a mama now away phone. Also oton edro no. Emma market women no. Oton mo 40 to 50 cedis. 40 to 50 cedis. It's market woman eba or turn be say 80 cedis 90 cedis. Auntie Teresa. Ave so fakan to ba no or turn of 80 to cedis. 70 to 80 cedis because that's what it's make. Then agric minister will hold a press conference and tell you say I have a wife or also call markets. Now call markets now say no auto body grow 8 cedis. 9 cities. Tell me, is it not a Goro minister?
But to Kasawanya, dear.
Go boy, Mr.
Abadu,
yeah.
I will tell you. I will explain the Goro boys now. If you started discussion on the unemployment situation.
Okay, very quickly.
Mr. Abadu, all the Mr. Jini, many penny be pa etnas in Nkommo. Na automefo. Occasion say yen penny for they don't like the truth. Omo penny kreno. They know very well. Oni me say dia amakwata tobuto oni me say enye the right way. Oni me say dia papa na agriculture minister be gina say bododo bunch of plantain is 4 cities so 5 oni me say enye no kre. But that is what they want. That is what they like. Look, politics, and politics, populize their mind. A poll tricks, they mount the poll and they stand on it. Then they come.
What we send here, Amwakwata Ebekaye. Yeah. Or check it through the fiscal policy, the budgetary statement. By the to 2022, dear. Say all toll booths will be abolished, subject to parliamentary approval. So if all
subject to parliamentary, so if all toll booths will be abolished subject to parliamentary approval, parliament. So that evening I issue statement, that issue that evening I issue finance minister Kain budget, he issued a statement abolishing all the road toll. That man, if we were in a serious country. We have a serious attorney general.
You should have resigned.
Attorney general. He pretends as if he knows the law.
Your attorney general, Queen.
Godfrey Dame.
I don't know.
At this time, and I say a special prosecutor should be asked. Abakwata should be asking questions now. I don't see. I'm so disappointed in Bagbin saying, Hole. Amakwata before
the road minister,
the road minister before the president's committee because Akwata Bumra he has caused financial loss.
My friend Akwa,
Papa.
Okay, he has caused financial loss to the states because vote an act of parliament.
Yes. The parliament, no, the capacity so obey repeal and that's revoke BB.
Yes. So why before? So why does the minister
go through parliamentary way approval?
Let's make a choice. Say we don't have a Kufado. We have the men. We have the men. No? They are Goro boys.
Minister. Finance minister. Yes. I didn't know you live in your buy. No, I'm a general public because me the you live about. They get to know the core parliament.
Say parliament.
They
have the power to invoke and to revoke.
That is it. That is it.
It is okay. Goro parties or Goro boys. That's the way. That's
the who support.
When someone also say we have the men, we have the men. You know what he's trying to tell you? Just say
capable of doing something.
They are capable of solving
the nation's problem.
You see, my problem with politicians is say you can't solve Ghanaian all the problems we have in the country. You see, but the point is when you make I know NDC members who had to change their mind 3 days to elections 2016 because of Nandado's juicy promises. I mean, Clement active by or Jila and Open Okano say Ono Yobia Otuma Nanado because of less Nanado policies were better than the NDC. Oh, Masa.
Mommy and those who call Nkommo when Nkommo I have also been to send a message about 0503 236 735. Na ya kinkan amo. And I didn't watch in the back test message. What's happening in Ama or a chatted guest. And the kind I record the media baby. I'm watching for now. So afraid now watch the wide range. And so, Mammy said Ghana and Nkommo the bro. Active television on Tuesdays and Wednesdays from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Na ya transi. And then you share a year youth unemployment. You know, be the answer say abiding by talking about the NPP government or the NAPCO by Nation Builders Corps. Nkrofobia to the almost a Nana and Baubia company, but media minim na million or moto edino. But or the no by nano penny beshe a year Independence Square, Blaster Square, a nipa called Bodompim. the betu just say any per 100,000 but if you more year and say endru 100,000 about 93,000 and if I'm 93 so do no crumple anko posting and just say I reduce it from 93 somewhere around 18 and go so and then 80,000 and then name but yentimi ntua omuka but yen san ko echinko at the end of every year education academic year no enipa sen na universities the back abundant talking about the nation's universities nipa do sen graduate yenko colleges of education yenko polytechnics yenko other tertiary institutions nipa do sen graduate talking about teachers talking about nurses talking about even other humanities courses and for year no nipa sen babontin nipa sen o humanity me for na so one pass here for nipa 93,000 na say o ebia yenfa say 10 universities ebia churning out about 1,000 that year no yefa nipa 93,000 no asi. What about the ensuing years? Nipa he na Ghana atimia form. And eba be di Nkommo talking about youth unemployment. Mama sha say ewo ajenim so. Ajenim.
Okay, so I do watch Ghana education think tank. How much say every year be about 110,000. 110,000 students and graduates from the universities, the various universities. Out of the 110,000, you know, 10% and then it will secure a juma. 10%.
11,000.
11,000. 110,000, 11,000. And no year after one year the national service review,
okay.
Excluding NAPCO and then internship. Until 11,000 EPR. 110,000 EPR, 11,000 in year juma. Now Abeka Abeka 11,000 no Beka Sebeka
90,000. They find the 91,000.
91,000. Now
99,000.
99,000. Okay, 99,000. 99,000 no mutifi. 99,000 no mutifi. Then another 99,000 as I'm home
the following year.
So you can just
imagine
the number of people are at TFA. And we are just used to only 2020 till now. It's within the 2 years. So just imagine the number of people are at TFA. A year 2021, so a year statistical service, Ghana statistical service, who say 32.8% of Ghanaians. 2.8 of Ghanaians, 30 million. Out of 30 million, 32%, you know, between the age of their age ranges between 15 and 24, no, they are unemployed.
And
today, most of our universities, you find will be away 14, 15. Any degree, the first degree, or university. So most of them come out and they become unemployed, 15 to 24. And the problem is that government is not able to create more jobs. And you see, the reason I'm saying is our leaders don't think outside the box and say government cannot create more jobs.
And your government we are going to create more.
So that is where you see our politicians, you know, if you don't take care and you don't learn as a citizen, they will always walk over you. Government themselves, and it's not limited to NDC MPP government. Previous government under the Fourth Republic will say government cannot create more jobs.
But the issue is, if said government granting, assuming without accepting, said government cannot create more jobs. Government can create an enabling environment.
So I was coming there.
Yeah, you bit me a funny.
So I was coming there. And see, that is where it is so. I'm trying to be very careful.
Disgusting.
It is disgusting. Say, government will decide to collapse banks.
Using public funds.
Using public funds to collapse banks. Now, this is the most interesting part. The banks are now collapsing. They needed 9 billion injection.
Capital injection.
Okay. Then they will all be sustainable again. And also that be obey to 21. billion.
They did what? Pacho hate what be me.
So government
9 million.
9 million Ghana cedis
to sustain
the banks, the collapsing
into solvency.
Yes, to put the bank. Me person the carbon factors. Me person the ordinary view of it.
You take a crab show mo.
Say na banks be to legina.
Okay.
And na abanso mu akonya say obe use 21 million Ghana cedis no e dey good banks no.
Yes, if you have 9 million.
9 million dey say banks no. Near the 21 million I dey egu ni kra. That is it. Inti we be a odwen a. We be a sebio me borrow Ivan Chewed. We be a enye instruction regional utima. We be use 9 million. And they are sustaining banks because the banks provide a chunk of our unemployment. I didn't say make us ubenya cashier ho, ubenya mobile bankers ho, ubenya sales executives ho,
sales access control managers. Some security for so much in your.
That is it. That is why you find a bank like GN Bank, Kwesindum Bank, you know, spread across the whole country.
Okay.
That's why you find a Unibank, Beach Capital, in many regions. And these people were employing a chunk of the Ghanaian youth, you know. A chunk of the Ghanaian youth, you know. So that and you see, when these people are working now, automatically our tax nets widen as a country.
Yes.
Because all your drama bank, the bank will prefer to pay him through the bank system. No, on making a tax about buying home.
Obit a COVID-19 levy.
Obit a COVID-19 levy.
1%.
So the point is, say, why would government use 21 million to collapse banks?
When banks needed
there was an option for you to use 9 million to sustain the banks. And say if bank be good, now all the scabe shema. Do you know what you do? Do you know what happens to the company? The company now has a strength to widen its services. It's or somebody that employ for more.
It's not part of the business anymore.
If you will say, we share all the private sectors now, but there is a lot of employment was the banking sector.
But I'm just talking about enabling environment. Okay, so Mamia was said that be any job.
Mamia will be any job by a corn hall. Not an opawe. Osha Udu Ewa, Madiba Uduha. Most of the people are only young people.
Obian wedding for about 20 years.
Young people are employable.
Talented.
We got there and then she was so sad, say, tax force, tax force, what baho, abe, I say, on running tests, Emma, the workers near, into over the office out, but put you 8,000 Ghana cedis.
8,000. Me wa bosu me aso ontu ankrofo ne
ontu a we workers ka
se edini ka se aban ye wo se guru
party mani see and aban so we have the best solution to ending unemployment no de be ya o se napco napco no obeche models we na bank ka che say okay, so after NAPCO no be 3 years. So
so do you kakra NAPCO no ye beba ho.
Okay.
Na ye din komo. Friends, Badiba. Unemployment.
Mama fa mi chia kese ma me.
Afa na wa be chia.
Afa na me chia. Chia kese pa.
Those politicians no ba no chia. And say one basho be so.
Chia kese Nkommo me hene baako. Kin Aite Onyanka.
Ono wen.
O wa masama consensus ya.
Oh, okay.
He is incoming multi-millionaire in Ghana across West Africa.
I say multi-millionaire.
Multi.
Incoming.
Obi just a few days to come. You will be here.
Oba be to me.
Obetu if you are better. Me na me catch you.
E dey won yan ye.
Your friend Kin Aite Onyanka.
Okay.
Ofri Abolampiam. Enyumle o hwe me Nkommo no. Nkommo me maame na adole e wo United States of America. E na me nu aba asema oni ni kru wo dobro I can dobro jida. E na me chairman suspension chairman. We the Kofi Zoiku.
they are suspended you.
Yeah, you suspended with the Kofi.
Yeah. O chairman.
Me am suspended. Me ko catch chairman na manya asem. In chair can come NDC regional executives ni nyina, especially Tete Chai ni Anthony Nikpenu and V Power. You can youth employment asem. Oh, Akufo-Addo, President Akufo-Addo ni MPP. O mako eti say be ma opoba. Yes, of course. Tell me Yesusa no. Say me hu say wudi oba bi achi na me mesu me be po ba na. Wo kan na mfa woti bi sasati wo kra chop mu ni say na ma.
Na dey how dey cover house.
Yes, of course. In same day. Sure. For 2860 for times 10.
2816.
For times 10. Ubenya say. Ubenya bibi ti say 28,600. John Mama buy no see cheap
President John Mama.
Former President John Mama. Same see jata. O see cheap compact 2860. It is a such cheap compact ne fa eduma for 10 krana. Ni po benya na mabo akire 28,600. And you cheap compact. O see me see extra modern hospitals in Magana. Sanya ma we nyina oye ne de na oye or the bread unemployment nasa. Eti na medical far house ano. O se nkura ni bi ko school o mu ko computer school na de se me ye de be me si digital computer yi mo na o si wo circle interchange na ye no Dubai ko na mo.
I think about ko Kaswa.
Okay.
Yes.
But the minimum circle
Kaswa ba ko.
Digital Center.
Digital Center.
And is it Omani Bo Amani commission your Kaswa?
Yes. But we know no Jomama no President Jomama akaka krama ni term na kona commission sa circle there no.
Okay.
We nyina na e dey be unemployment na dey be ase. Because President Jomama buy no who say unemployment na make bibi e dey na nipa dasani e ka say me university e kra certificate no be ton pure water.
Is it be akoye marketing?
Marketing dey.
No dey better on pure water.
Pure water.
Say marketing.
Mr. Pedu.
Yeah.
Meti we we technical school 80 pure water 30 pesos into me call university for all along e money bi wo crap na straight omo from and say omo university e dey beton pure water pure water dey say mama abrewa wanya 80 to 80
no madi ba oko school ko market no ba no beton pure water say nyeke.
How dare you?
How say njo mo ton pure water dey mo dey mo ye
mo mo ye na we say ton pure water nyo mo ko university wie
okoye marketing
enu na Mr. Jenny kae no omo ko schools na de most of them no employ uko marketing na odi ko ton pure water na bank wo ho a ana say wo be company ye marketing no say wo na wo be market nyam say ayo yi ayo a Mr. Precious e di ha ma yi wo na wo be market senia
ama high precious
say na manfo be de be e be bo mo di omo advert be de be e be ba eti say mo market wa ha mo obi marketing wa ha
to aso
what I say President former President John Dramani Mahama ehwe aya nko bi ni bisa say e de be na aka e wo parliament wa na say Fraster House of John Mahama ba be e kwa akofo aka nyuma na oye Ghana full of drum mo MPP aban me mo MPP aban ba ye na omuso mu de omu tie ye
na sin ko wawie na adwuma nka wonko
o se
President Mama wie na adwuma nka wonko
mu ma John Mama kwanya some say incompetent
mo ne wan me
o ka me
David o de to asem so
okay hwe na man fa asem ntia o de me chono eti ye ka unemployment youth unemployment because as last year no you see bi ba you see job fair conference center so baby
ba ko so ko so trade fair
ma ye bobo glass amofo mu ko ye glass o mu di edwuma bobo me twitwa binum ni percent for afom edwuma na wo hifa former President John Dramani Mahama tema otiso no hu say companies ni bi guti say kina farmer mu ni sako odiska ko ye de be eko shame se ne be ya obe maintain workers no
ena mutimi fa ni percent NDC for mo fa ni percent
NDC ni pay fire no then time let me tell me more figure this is
so be better say MPP buy almost for nipa 93,000
mo hifa
so mo ye juma
e wo hifa
and NDC for mo
so for say na ko for ka say omo metre fi omo sika na e wo se e di mo no ye fa mo na me na ko adwuma o de ma na me nye as I'm sitting down now 700 600
when you born it is so
e dey tell us so Mr. Pedumi free embassy 330 Ghana cedis me ko 30 Ghana cedis
na so wanya bi
menya bi yes eti na nyakopon ma ya adwen no
antupa che so mu nyu so mo adwen
na penifo eti na me ka jo say onyanka eba no de djuma eba Ghana what individual person me de ne be ba one day enye say so me ba be fa Active TV ni nyina ne yakoda
ube kukuru Active TV akoda
say ube fa camera ba ku mienu na o de koni fie na o ku twa wa kukuru Active TV akoda de ye bibia live show
madiba
Mr. Pedu me de ube ko ene me say ni nyama bi ma o ba won hwe o si ufo wo fo hwe me say ni ma director so last time so me say ni bi ma no
I say ye
pe koho na obehu woni ne betena se one on one ene me ne nam saa na me pon ya na me free e ba hai
multi-billionaire
me na me ka kire odinyema be me nye millionaire ni
so follow multi-billionaire
yes e was say wonnam oni anyansafo nam ti say pressure say director wa ha say uni sankrofo we na ma uni sankrofo we na ma ene che say oni anyansafo nam because she school esi ho she baby eti
school ben ya board school ni din
oh school ni kwapo de aya me pese me boni din
when now school when now okay pure city now
pure city yeah
oh okay
aya me ko kana me kan pure water enti na me pese me kan pure city
na de kan school din akokan pure
water kwale egu ho hwe teachers wa employ mu se si a me ko ho na me ko hu bibi ho na enye na me de be trend TV so na me ka on pamo me on mo ma no so but obehu me say ene da ba me say me call na me ko ka say wo obebi say say na headmaster head dey ama me kwa ama me di ne wan asema be dey school abetu ochina say headmaster no wo JSS o headmaster o JSS e dey be ko kindergarten
there be private school there me yes some be say public school na headmaster bi ko kire na adwen a na yes on ko kire class 1
aditi dey was about sir
say bi wa ko kire na
guru party
there be men kan guru party bani ma jira jai
what you say me say
TV amansan show
me say be tu yi me bakitwa oba me mane nko school ko 1990 school mo sa mbese
tu ba yo buy nko public school
se si o private school no wie from JSS na oba be ko mo JHS na omo JHS na I'll just buy computer for her start learning because akaka kra sika ye so bi mu enu na onyanka ede ban because their system na wo America
na so ba be create adwuma
what created that
but don't you to say politician mo ya mo say mo nto abama me motuma me asan ma ye bibi
oni bibi ye mo say no ha me say abeti ha no me ni na politicians so even my NDC leaders me ni no mo
so be create adwuma
obeka say hwi ni what the operation of the parliament ho me detia me force amanse ehwe me detia me force ni say me kwan ya enye bebi ankola nya kwan ko school papa enkola bi o mo wie school mo timi ye debe o mo nya adwuma nye because me the my imagine say Mr. Pedu umma me mentally work I won't do it me try me bo am obetime try me kadia me since I started here
na no ne ye hwe TV ne nkrofobie ka say nurse fobie o mo wie school ye mfa o mo adwuma
nurse for pa do ma say mba pa dia enye TV so na me ka say aka me say me ka say nyakupo ne ti o mo ka
dabi men ka say nurse ni e wa ko school
yanti Ghana ha no mo say jo mama mo alawa
nurse for ne kan
nurse for ni for 2016 2020
and no mo say jo mama ni den
teachers are suffering Ghanaian nurses are suffering. They are suffering in which way?
That's what because you guys man alawa.
John Dramani mama who say, "Oh no idea no man as the last time me get back kasa." John mama say, bia den time allowance na mo jiniti no. School ni pa be 1,000.
Okay.
But say ma jam alawa ne ma. But in the school ni pa be 1,400 1,500. Time mo wie school no nurse for school hospitals wo cheap compounds ni hospitals na osisi ni bebre no okọ ha
na way
oze
hospital osisi ni bi way
Ghana hospital ni o expand Ridge hospital na Legon hospital Afari hospital
na Afari ni awie die
Afari no na catispan dey expose ba ya start chichi nkofo bi ni mo ho no cylinders na oxygen nyama ni nyina access egu ho no se ye wie ya Nana Akufo-Addo ye president to so wapa 6 years mu we ana me boa enti die na aka wo ho a ye be wie be employ workers na
enti na wo kwa chese ka wo wi anka nurse fo be kwa koye oh okay
tell my covid by obi enti tu kwan no if na mo die o VIP hospital no
to aso
if na mo die
o de to asem
enye cantonment dey nsuo no maritime hospital
okay
ni nye ni ho enna me ma cheap company pe 2660 eti e farm workers 10 nurses 10 krana enna me di ma 28000 dia president Akufo-Addo ka say o ma ye no ti free mu aka 99 eti 99 to 28000 free mu one calculation na me ye ma
okay
ye ma school owie community day SHS no owie bako 78 eti no so farm workers bako teachers
na so kan so be 200
okay so be 200
na na 70
obusu ba agenda 111 say na we siama ye
ada compare
one kasa wo fie kra wo si wo fie e be sing room kra wo si no one politicians in there kasa me enye de omo kan ye de yesi wodi wa no do nwira e bi nye de be e bi nwo
etu si schools ni 78
o si 78
ene de na aba
78 no si ye no e bi wo ho a we e bi so wo wie eti wo a wo say job for the people unim say school ba ko SHS ba ko tibi fa ni pa 1002 enye one teacher de be kira de wo ho school ba ko si ye constituency Akrama area ho Akrama community de SHS na mredi
eka jomama de no
eka jomama ho na me no ka say school nkola wo mu a 300
o say we fa
Akrama Okushibia electoral area e wo ka west that is the only secondary school Amasama West was say
okay
because omuche Amasama mu no Amastek ekopie otrobo eti enye se we na be si ha ka Amasama West ni government secondary school eti sa school we dey na ka wo say no
na so sin ka dey na yenye
oh kohwe aka peti things bi ho a
na mon ko wie
oh masa asem we American TV so menya asem eti ho no yemfa to baby
ye mon ko wie o ka so mampanyi friends nanado ka che togbe fiti so no so ko wie ne die wa wie na da mo so mon ko wie
eno na sa asem we na me pese meka
ono di
community ni ye ko ho ene ye yadin se ye be kintoboa e dia boa nkwala no toilet ni nyama nketen bi se ye mu nyina ye suro kwa se be a ka ho asem
how
dia meti ye no
dia na wotie
headmaster ma ye kwan ama ya be ye sa nyama ma ya twama na ba TV so dia meti ye si ne ye dumoti e minim se no kra
headmaster obeboa ye se enye wen ene ye
obeboa no kwa wa meboa wa be ka hwe
ene ye dimotu no
sa na meti ofre me ka kire me iti e ho asem no me fere se me fere papa no ne ye jiji ye botom sika e dia to omuso monitor toilet aka ye pese ye to mobile toilet bi esi ho amom
okay
na yesu ye dia boa community but untimi nsori prekupe ye de be enko ebibi sa abanse ene da sem
so do you kakra ma menko eye agenim ti see ya no youth unemployment ye be ni den de ne yenye oh my Ghana
okay inti problem ba kwa me hu say e high and say we like populist youth employment programs
brofui
the pedia obi abebo agye so
obi abebe my fans
yen kwa NAPCO secretariat yen bi some NAPCO secretariat mo policy document wey
omunibi
they don't have it
how I don't hear juma ho
they don't have it
then e
so they don't have it that is why they didn't have a way or they didn't have a roadmap to migrate say be yi kwa e be fa so say NAPCO from why juma 3 years no ye be fa kwani so e dem be
exit plan
that is it. We don't have the exit plan because we didn't have policy documents as a secretariat. And Intina, government doesn't even know how. You and I, anytime, somebody they funded UPCO. You don't know. Your programs need to say Youth Employment Agency, Opportunities Industrialization Center Ghana. Your Youth in Agriculture program. Your Rural Enterprises program. And about your Nations. Builders called UPCO.
I don't know my friend.
I don't know friend Dama and Baumia company.
Oh, okay.
One bank report we buy out. Almost person say data be we say we don't have a guiding path. I get the boss age we home buy. It reports could say most of these programs are more like a quick fix reaction to a long-term problem.
So fighting approach.
No, last 3 years, you found how many people? 100,000.
Andrew, almost Andrew.
Yeah, fathers are buying for 100,000.
Oh, okay.
It's a buy for 100,000. 100,000 is see, and they bring now some back to fee. The policy was that 100,000 for we are, we'll find a way to migrate them into the mainstream public sector. Then we are another 100,000 will be picked for the next 3 years. NAPCO started in 2018. So it was supposed to end in 2021.
Yes.
And I let Taba out, I say, Yapamu Munina, no, Omunko.
And Sanka
and Sanka. This is a Bayadi. You don't 7 months into Akai.
Debut. Nasa a friend is saying,
even before that, the Yapamu will cut 2 3 months, 4 months. Napkufui. Before I banker say, President issue statement say they should go back to their position, their post.
Or issue statement, that's the can home.
Scan home. And I said they are in their 7th month. They've not been paid.
Now we know be
so the problem
17 months per into Yannick.
Yes. So the problem is the youth unemployment law. Yenya Nkommo asebio omo promo bi bo is this Ghana promo no yenya enyansaphobia they will sit down think about the youth unemployment and then bring about long-term solution. Long-term solution.
Not just all parties are there no abaya anwe ho no mo de buy.
And I said NAPCO no policy document way. Ibrahim Anyas.
Obeka say former president Atamo's time. Ukoya agrika, uko school na koya agrika. Uwie o national service no omudua omukoya farming. Any plantation ebroni nyama. It is Satan because say Bruna de no so mo harvest the schools na de no. Utimi hu say o hwe plan na eno nkire say we school no umbetena office. But o national service no ukoye farming. Eti farming no kra no hwe na be boawa. You channel today.
So the problem is that's why we have the youth in agriculture no.
Yeah.
But we don't know how to sustain it and really fund it.
Debut ejim asembe na okay.
That is
the bibi ba wo mu ni Sebi nyansa bi ba.
And I make say a populist way. You see the point is say. Me did say garbage be our pepper. And more mine.
Okay.
A good father namu or pepper. But the point is say you see if you say your budget say oh ya dia. You promo ya dia. Sebi if I saw this so.
Nice, I see Mampamrika be na.
It's American say NAPCO say. NAPCO, yes, you can disagree with me. Those say who benefit 700 cedis a month. But NAPCO is one of the useless venture.
Oh, Debbie.
No, I'm being honest with you. You see
how?
The point is say
NAPCO buy 2 hour second month. And this when you cash bottom. Yes.
NAPCO is not a production entity.
Oh, Debbie.
NAPCO is not a production entity.
Meti fie me nya adwuma
me say Besado Tanyas Ibrahim Anyas say NAPCO no which fund are they using to fund money be no dey funding NAPCO.
That's it. The
reason why they've not been able to pay the NAPCO is say only fund they don't have a source of funding.
Say na naka school e will get fund e will get fund money.
They don't have funding.
Say school e will nya problem get
fund. Only funding no. Only funding no. Only to have the existing ones na go no. Sisi ano want to employ want to fund that 100,000 libium. And that is what National Youth Employment say we don't have a funding for it.
It's time for 4 year juma. I don't know Nkommo find
so the point is you see that's why we are saying that when you are bringing in something you see last night Obi catch him and say America Joe Biden buying we create over 13 million jobs.
Over 13 million.
Over 13 million jobs.
And 100,000.
Government so figure finance minister the eso figure labor minister de be ma eso figure ba umia de be ma eso figure
Kojo Ponko
and eso figure eno president Akufo-Addo de be ma so according to World Bank we don't have a sustainable I say we have only short-term reaction for long-term problems.
Oh, okay. Until you need to copy.
And mind you say, President Akufo-Addo is thinking of increasing the tertiary enrollment. Mami ma source no. Media yes utu what we see into they say I want to get it. World Bank describe it as the president has an audacious.
Hey, bro.
Yes, that's what World Bank used to hear. Also, the president has.
Not just say
so while at this, the president has outlined an audacious vision of increasing the number of tertiary students to 1.2 million by 2030. That is increasing gross tertiary enrollment from 18% to 40%.
Now, say your person satisfy SDG goals 2030 education.
The person make sure to say, Sisiano. Now me catch us say every year be according to Edu Watch, you know, about 110,000 people graduate from the university.
And was increasing.
And about 110,000, out of about 550,000 students, the entire students in Ghana.
Oh, okay. Now, and
I buy some also increase enrollments from 550,000 to 1.2 million. And you see, government is thinking about. Government is not thinking about putting more people into the tertiary, but they are not thinking about when they come out. What job are we going to give them?
That's how I say we should be creative, we should be innovative.
It's about what they you start
Yeah, most kakakara.
You start. You start now, or say out of e-levy, and or you start
Yes. I don't know so.
Do be me Mexican house and the o dey come and
say tax.
So you see what I'm talking about. We are not creating a long term. And even World Bank sample can say the reason why youth unemployment is becoming most of these programs American ones is not working. They say your man no crap. Government doesn't have a system of
tracking system
of retrieving those monies are almost churning out these people.
Madiba, I buying the Abase one district, one factory, PPP. And this moment you view. One district, one factory. Nana do buying the Abase.
No, say make come and say make us.
It's nipa do na beko suku. What move we nipa do na one district, one factory. Benye jumaye.
O say make us say.
Mane so kakra man.
Yes say odi wa no do nwira. Ebi wo. Ebi ni
factory say ho. B5 Kasapreko. Gihog distilleries.
You see, Mami Caribbean show.
Yes.
And then we Ghana now Oshemia. Me Ejeni Mbuaten. Me person me catch us say Aban see factory behind.
I say it's PPP.
See me.
Private public partnership.
Say PPP. You see, sometimes when what can some people think say you are being biased and then you are trying to hold brief for another political party.
I didn't hear.
You see, what this government is doing when it comes to one district one factory, the NDC was doing that during the Hamas time. But Mahama time no, all one money did.
That's what also.
So the point is say, Kasapreko.
Yes.
Obi can say Nanado that they say Nanado Kasapreko can't one district one factory. You see, this one you don't need a rocket science to go say you try on throw. Because when Kasapreko was Kasapreko, now Nanado cry on your margin say, no, your shop also during 2016 elections.
Oh, they are some now okay.
No, Kasapreko no one say, Madiba time, but the percentage say,
so oh funny time kakara.
In this government, the government will see one district one factory. Have they been able to tell you how many people they've been able to employ and one district one factory?
Mr. Jima, Mr. Peru.
Yes, Minia. One district, your B5 company.
B5
company.
B5 company. Na e wotema zi pon area
Iron Ross,
Iron Ross. E no mo yi e de aba aflawo
Kaswa, is it
yes honorable warehouses na de omume warehouse back so katama is it katamantu baby na omoto nje na de no nti omo ya omo de ba ho na so omo di factory
agbogulusi kwan na so
yes omo di factory na ko pie wo mi ama flawo kwa so
eso matrim
wa me trim say omo so
company na actually the business
wa say nana any MPP so mo pese one district one factory and me throw challenge mo say wunima he for Achimota ABC so when me say na omoye hono moye ABC in Sanewa na Guinness company ejiye na omo de ka nti bo say ABC kra no e say Guinness company na ye omumma
oni mu pa o
omini mu say
you tell you say when abame catch us say on na we see factory bia you should be able to count
but the issue is people me say omra number refine ABC e Achimota ABC ni ye hu say product ye de be koso
it was ye we are no atuni di one district one factory
necessary na make say onko Guinness for ho no onko ka che Guinness say first na ABC insano ye no Achimota gan Accra say no me pese me ye say dan ni nyama ni nyina asi ho iti no me pese say no ABC insano ye be na Achimota say na tete no eti a
na Gihog distillery so ho
Gihog ko 1857 na say ni design eta me nya kwala o minimum time mo started democracy and so na afoswa mo aba me too ma ba 2020 years oze
yeah the ballot box be see on the ato aba
me man too ma ba 2020 2016 we started from 1992 everything there it is a president be a minimum tama me mu eyabe popular abe wo ni pa mu ntuma popular minimum I know
okay sir party love general skin
yes general skin mu de so mu ba John yen papa Jerry John Rollins ba na obetete party no na skin mu ne adeba but that time no popular mu na abeni that time na yesusu about na ewunya me kozo enti obeka che one district one factory na make sure say during President John Dramani Mahama time no who say company ni ye de be form a na okoye de be o de sika bi akoye de be akoshem na wa so mo asene e bi na Akufo-Addo my President Akufo-Addo sorry
na nya mu kura no mo beka say banks ehia 9 million went me amwa wo or the 20 million akoko if you fact to be on e begu na o de sika akoshem o say ne wa bo
adenti sa wan fa sika na sa 9 million na nkogu banks no na wa maintain omo
and also say dia me de kwa kwhye factory mu one district one factory
you see Mr. Bedu the point they say you see the rate of unemployment are cost trying to means institution. Government is mainly the problem. Government is not creating enabling environments for businesses to thrive. Government tax waivers to companies that they don't need it. Small businesses out they are overburdened with tax. You see, these are I'm bringing out the small factors are unemployment also. We are giving tax waivers to companies that don't need. We are rather overburdening companies a year in Ketwa. The tax will be go so they are not able to employ. And huge amount of taxes on the profits that will make you as a company. Not showing staff strength. Though he might want to have a lot of staff, a lot of staff, it helps in production. But Osha won't mean to Yaka. So, okay. Yes, because chunk of the money now, profit will generate, it goes into the payment of tax.
On the tax now. What are francophone speaking countries?
Yes.
Maybe they might try to go more than 5, 6, 7 years. Well, maybe as a John, Papa John Mama time. Or by Sanka, who is the or 2 banker, you better tax be now. The home by year. To go more years ago. Yen can't you on family to drop.
That's not so dear.
A system being. Togo.
You should let the citizens know.
Togo.
Yes.
Who is the or 2 banker? What the Toho, what the me funny say 10,000 CFA, which is in about 120 Ghana cedis.
Yes.
You have to put your Sanfran on it. Sanfran here, maybe say 1 CD,
yes.
Something 20%. See, no. What this can it to how you say this, and now that also straight. one fan to so a tax e bete fu sika ni e wo more than 10 years and am wo
okay
e ho so sa what do you call it mobile money e wo ye wo high e ho so e wo ti e wo ba ko e friend ti money
yes
e ne wo ba ko e friend fruits what did I mention I say taxes na dey no mo te dey pepe
na so wa mon complaining
oze
mon complaining
unim the system is working because you see the government that those taxes he's using it to work for the country you can like asem look who hand down what Togo a me maba Mr. Pedwesi ufia maba no meba no o me meter na ko gye no electricity for no ebo ho me buy ya me han me dan na ma ko market meter ni go market ti say me ko to for we no na ma to me ba na me da bebo na ya twen every me meter mu na ya bebo me dan ni pam month bia na me feel be gina ho we use 3 point 1 point here ebia or see 200 francs na say 1000 CFA o calculate we use 3 point 3000 no we tua and lay to in crime yes last next year to electricity 148% ribisa ko hwa man for interlight be my entum sa
now the back unemployment youth unemployment
yes we mu nyina sa scenario mu ni sa nyama we nyina no account ene nipa ba ko pe first electricity yes o we ni ho ye the prepaid ba ni ade eti no ye ecosystem of Europe ni America ni ade eti e wo se ye ti workers ni so o ti da mejo
yes
obi akọ electrical school no we no abefie if you mo crapo no because of mo ni meter mo ni ade crapo eti no o mo timi ye de ben egiche bills ni ade ene wo hifa bebe ye na inu ye no ye pese ye de be ye tu mi kan ye ko abrofo go digital omo ye bibia digital yakoji meters ya beguo obi wo ho a enti no ama nkrofo na wo system no wo se omo ye adwuma no sa nkrofo ni nyina na ye de be ya pomo omo ena ye mpanifo na di enimu no me ye phone we me da to ho oman ni sika na me de be me de wo Mr. Mpedu ba ye wo se to asoro se de bi me ya ye mo me din pa no wa jato ho eti workers e wo ho no nyina no o ye de ben say former president Atamas yakopon fan crazy onyo na di less the buy na otuto sa traitors ebinum di bi ye de ben sabola ebinum eyusu bi na Akufo-Addo president Akufo-Addo ma hete asese Ghana will be Ghana will be cleaner city in West Africa Accra
yes
ene minam baby say me hu gotem a ye yi pa ye esi ho a esi o say bunch of
na who cause am enye ya na e cause ye
ya na e cause
yes
when me say Portugal the crow no mo no Rwanda
yes
yes we chingam say crap a problem
ba we to go ya lome
yeah
asigame okodun so po anu na e chiwa e be ball ma
ye chiw police chiw
near the prior show nsa
yes police chiw and every day 24/7 anopo we wiaw e manam omo share reflector ye praka kwanso
but me koto Ghana ni bi okodun so ne like say me to no American French nkasa the whole de obey adwuma
yes it when I was say omo pa kro omo pra kro no mu na ade nsuo ye dida Togo ye kro bi aka obeka say ntontom e wo hopa because omo wo kro ni nyina ko say Benin ye nsuo but you can live with that mosquito because the system is what the system
is for now can so be go school you know akoton pure water
yes
it will be a university do friends Benin
yeah
so Togolome
yeah
no be a we o na opchina na okita prior no pra street what about that
uni bibi omo wo system bi to the extent say bi pano ko university na odura mu na odu baby no say emwa na ojai me wo nkrofo bebre ya omo system no omo nim say me wo be 5-7 people me be give visa wa ha ma omo Morocco omo ye engineering work o nim say Morocco omo pe road construction yaje be give 7 people say Togo omo ni Morocco embassy ni ko e omo be give visa wa ha I lead them
that's a good boy
that is what I'm telling you say me no from a guru boy I don't care because I don't want to work under somebody
and I genuinely describe government say or guru boys
yes of course it me a guru boy they don't know the country they omo nim country ha omo here visa and they know I'm a messiah for them I brought them Me a go boy. They gave me something small. Those time boy me cry no nipa 6. Obi a me dey about 100,000 say 900,000 the boy say 1,002 something.
Mami kwa jenu mu nchen quickly na me hwe. Ajenu o ye show say retirement age of 60. Enka yento so because na boko aban mu hwe me yan minister osafo mafo. Papa no nante krotu so abre. So ne nana be wadi be 30 years or tifie one year juma. So
I feel say the problem is not about reducing the retirement age. 60 60 years near okay. 60 years near okay. You see the problem is not about the retirement age.
What is it?
The problem is governments should learn how to think outside the box. I mean, for me, I believe say former President Mahama tried doing something like that. What did he try to do? He went into infrastructure. Now, when you go into infrastructure as Omaya, you create direct jobs and indirect jobs. One thing about is that the indirect job becomes more, but they are not permanent, but they are more. Direct jobs becomes permanent, but they are few. I didn't hear. So everyone say there's a project because everyone say Maritime Hospital, you see.
Yes.
UGMC.
University of Ghana Medical Center.
Yes. Okay. Bank of Ghana Hospital.
Atwa
Hospital. Atwa. There were General Mosquito Krumikra. Everyone saying. There are some could be.
Say what?
Refi or Kradimbi. But the point they say, with all these hospitals, yes, indirect jobs were created. Yes. What are the indirect jobs? In joining my contractor or employee masons, plumbers, electricians. So these people, jobs near indirect, but they are more.
Okay.
Site or no. You would use you.
That's not a permanent job.
And I make us say indirect in permanent way also. You will use you or use you but near the area because you need water. You will you have a toy area move around the sites. And I mean say when a huge construction is going on somewhere, the place becomes a city. It becomes a town. Because people migrate to that place to come and do business. Now, what's the hospital? Can we say you are not employing only nurses? You are not employing only doctors.
Yes.
You are employing cleaners. You are employing porters. You are employing security men. You are employing.
How many security point of correction? Access control managers.
Whatever it is, you are still employing them.
Access control managers.
Whatever it is, you are still employing them. You are employing an accountant. You are employing an administrator of the hospital who employ a lot of is it ancillary positions?
Yes. Medicines.
Aside frontiers, yes, some lab technicians.
Employ.
So you find out say one hospital a creative
multifaceted jobs.
That is it. It say if within a year, within 2 years, 3 years, I buy AC, all these hospitals are. Just imagine the number of people I employ. Now let's leave the hospital. Let's go to education sector.
Okay.
We'll see schools. We'll see e-blocks. You also create indirect jobs and direct jobs. How do you do that? So now I can't say you employ me since no I never employ. We buy also we employ. That's why we call most of the schools are your NAT, your NAGRAT, yes,
yes.
Tell no teachers.
Educational Workers Union.
But only educational workers. That's why you find the beza, the bookshop the bookshop keeper, the storekeeper, the accountants,
the librarian,
the matrons, You understand? So then I want to employ more. They say you can't go and keep 2 bezels in one school. So when the more you go into infrastructure, the more you build, the more you employ
indirectly, you employ.
That is a drive that I believe said John Dramani Mahama was sticking out there. Fast forward to the Adedanko Akufo-Addo. I believe say this government could have performed better with education sector, no, with unemployment situation also, because this government has gotten more of revenue than any government under the Fourth Republic.
Loans also come home.
As of 2021,
Yes.
this government has generated over 420 billion domestic revenue.
Loans best become.
Loans, and recurring revenue,
Okay.
generated revenue. Even at the time of COVID, GRA told us that we've exceeded our targets. Government as I borrow over 230 billion as of 2021. In fact, 2022 fiscal year, and you see. And then when this government was coming to power, there was the stabilization fund, there was Get Fund, there was ESLA, there was
grant.
This government was bequeathed with a lot of wealth. So this government has no business to increase unemployment. That's what I'm saying. Say, government, this NAPCO thing was a populist decision, and that is what's affecting this government. This government don't want to think through situations. You see.
But before you continue, say in as much as say buying any revenue, you mentioned the figure. This is a government at somewhere 2020 COVID you. All other issues.
Mr. Pedu,
Ukraine war.
Mr. Pedu.
Right.
Mr. Pedu.
Yes.
As at the time COVID now this government has failed woefully.
How?
You see, let me tell you something. We all saw NAPCO was going to fail. But then, you see, we wanted to be citizens, not spectators, so we had to just keep quiet. We knew that NAPCO was going to fail because when you are doing something, you don't have a roadmap. Uber hits it. And when you hit her, it becomes hard for you to continue. COVID by we were not hit hard. When you're in African country, hit it hard.
Hey. Considering the numbers.
Our numbers were less.
As compared to
Nigeria, as compared to other African countries.
The government also manage the situation.
Manage situation.
Manage the situation.
There was one
The government was able to solve the situation.
You see, US was hit hard all over the world. And even in US, the states of Seoul, you call the Hokoji aid. That same US, you're hitting harder. The economy is grown by a falling panel has been able to create 13 million jobs.
But how do you compare US?
So if the president is telling me say we are leapfrogging, the president is telling me say we are leapfrogging than the US, or because you are leapfrogging, what I say? You are leapfrogging is ahead of US. It is right for me to use US as an example because our leaders always they normally compare
our progress to other
countries. So and you see
to me, say, okay, Ghana is doing better than UK.
Yes. You see, this were we not here when John Bodu, the General Secretary of the NPP, somewhere last 2 years, one of the political campaign, okay, say, it's Shaya Nanado buying Edibu Akwaemuno. We are going to import workers. Because say we are going to import workers, when I say Ghana phone you Jumo Muhato. I'm a grand door somewhere to be airport, so we need to import workers.
So the
point is, you see, government should let me fast forward. Let me tell what government should do to curb this one.
Obviously, country in Kakara.
Yeah, government. You see, government should stop paying unnecessary monies. And then we say, and then I will say, and then you will say, if not for Toby Afede, you need say one person on
Council
of States, 3.6 billion Ghana cedis. That is old cedis, 3.6 billion old cedis. It's 3.6 million Ghana cedis. 3.6 million Ghana cedis as Russia.
As why you Juma?
See me. Toby Afede say, Ejuma no ye no. You cut 26,000 a month. He described the work as even a part-time job. because council of state ejuma na nye ejuma ofa bag eco office ekotena ho a part-time job and yasama the incentives and he is saying say the incentive and then the part-time no is enough for me as a person, so I don't see the reason government is supposed to give me 3.6 million. So and a big council of state will be a war to do in society already. Yanfa techable kontra council of state so.
Then obeji atumusi say or mine so no educational system. Juma because it be the various tertiary education or education or schools one more enchain out in Nipa, one more year industry based friends and graduates. So I didn't know use me. I didn't know use me. Hold on. Me school you parts of friends and fish. Little do see about very happy.
So which governments been a industrial companies for us to have an industrial students.
But also na me can say I didn't know use your school no. Ebia the kind of curriculum ye go through our schools and home. Ebia you anya no ne ye ba. So at I say enya no ne ye ba. Ye de baba ye adwuma. Because recently friends a whole university examination be aba out. Say ya draw shoe. Me too say producer obenya sa the exams question no dey ato we say exams are aba out e be new. University of Education Winneba label the parts of a shoe.
So no, we say. This
examination.
Where University of Education Winneba no, teachers.
And now we label parts. When in America and in the world, no. There's one machinery.
You see, the point is that we are missing the conversation. You see, we shouldn't blame our education sector for our failure to promote and to provide jobs for
it's a question how to live the shoe.
Tell me.
When you say,
when you see the brand.
Tell me. Mr. Baby,
yes.
See me.
Where can boo?
The point is say,
what means you are saying
University of Education, and teachers in school.
It's not how to
but in the curriculum. The
passport, they said label the pass of
the children don't have curriculum.
No, the point is see me. People are getting the conversation wrong. The point is
how to label the pass of
if we buy a school or university if we buy a school or university of education, he or she wants to become a teacher. And it's not called
the pass of a shoe.
80. In the curriculum,
then it trickles down to from the curriculum ever down
if our leaders have created factories we will teach factory based subjects in our schools.
In the educational system now collapse
so what creative factories in school what creative factories for country we will teach factory based subjects.
Then you say label the pass of
so the point is say before Ghana went into
industrialization.
No. This petroleum sector, ye too young oil. We have a university as University of Mines and University of Mines and Energy, because we are now bringing out our own. We are now producing our own oil. No, yes, I said we need to create a university that will suit. Because then telling to me, then say I'm about Mutu said say we don't have the technocrats.
Nothing that prevents you see business.
So the point is that
your University of Health and
so before we had before we were drilling oil, before the country went into the drilling of oil or food or no, if Nipado could see us in you two farm war, obey that you jumano. It's like me learning law. If we share law, no wahana there no courts. Why am I going to practice?
So dear God, Madiba, the same question I made to label the parts of a shoe.
To be honest,
whereas I will call other parts of the world, yes, Chirakwara send obey them, obey excavator. Now to Ghana here, Chirakwara the parts of a shoe.
To be fat and honest to you, and the whole Ghanaians almost share Amansan TV, Active TV.
Very active.
Very active. Madiba Metiso. Tama, Papa JJ. or the JSS, Junior Secondary School.
1987.
Is it 87?
Yes, 87. The concept of JSS. Before the new experimental schools.
Yes. It's the first batch in this year 1990. Yes, of course.
Maybe a second batch. 91. Mama Nietzsche or that one.
Okay, no problem. Winning.
Yes.
Yeah, Papa need this high school to buy or they didn't buy. Yeah, starting and many where starting
technical skills.
Technical skills.
Yes.
Technical
drawing. Vocational skills. Life skills.
Life skills. Cultural studies.
I didn't back see a
social studies. What did I mention?
Yes.
Agricultural science. General science. Books on them or the brand new. I want to make kind of library books now. I want to make kind of Oliver Twist. Unim.
Papa make Gulliver's Travels.
Okay. Papa no di sa adwe. Wan ko school to say penifo ye ko school you. Omo an omo di eso a. Omo ko school wan ko school bi sa wo. Ba papa nya adwen say daachi bi adwuma ho be ko atwe ama me mine. Any Ghana for. Eti technical drawing. Oh yeah. Eti tema obe wie no. Say
we kitchen stool.
Yes, we art. Obe tuma ko art field. Technical skills. And also your training carpentry work in a home crowd ba.
I want to do a hacksaw, tenor saw.
A G clamp, any home crowd ba. Now only is as I am no. What I say? Cutlass ni so fina di nyina wo wa person teachers no last one because I said teachers need the eco farming. No me bebe me go school no a rural area yiti no omuka say ene like ye call
gardening.
Na teacher for no mo dia komo mo fa na edu eburo ni banchi na dia mo se unnim ya unsua wo ho etu wie school na papa ntima atwa wo so a se farming na wani je ho a ba be de be ba be fa then time
and I see a child labor
fine then time no ye wo so in a play na de egugu ho edum se ye ko workshop wo betima ye kunya ti ye mu binum a omo fast brain na wonu say carpentry adwuma no wo omo ni so no omo ye sa fie nkunya na ade bi se na be ya wo wie school na wo ntima anto aso say wanye bibia wo dane wo hu na wo ye carpentry work nketekete e fie nkunya ye tonton ene kumasi fo edi ba na esoso mo no mo ye de be omo to ni table say didi wo so na ade papa edi sa adwe ba se na be boa Ghana fo ni ebe ma sa adwuma unemployment asema ye kai eto be de be ebitwa e wo hefa entanka den tam sa de ne to aso aka u be wie school no u fi JSS na ye junior secondary school na be JHS na u ko secondary school na unim dia wo ko de be u ko ye wo ho me ka me cousin ba ko a me ni wie school o ko no se o ko de be visual arts so de be aso so ko wo ateche ni nyamayamo mo yes
so art
cool and creative enso time ye wo school no sa creative art so wanye bi wo ho ntoko
I say the craft school
ye the craft school ye den time ye new kenten any prayer
yes me see dan paper so
enu de ye bia teacher for no mpe no prayer no beton kenten no beton ye ho no sa de ye mo o ta say e do life skills ya omo etwa popa na e dia ba wa onum kenten wa onum ensoa ni omo ya ni akɔhye ye dia akɔhye so mo ni yi nkoto ni dia brand masters no
no aton
onton okoyi oh eti omu bie ya dwem sa ata ma ye ko school omu bie ya dwem eti wo ba be ko senior school na say wo wie school timi say me for the technical school na ma me ko technical school
so me point to say
because me ma go
me point to say you see we can have all the technical schools in the world.
Yes.
You benya all the technical schools in Ghana. But nipa ni wie. Now at the end of the day, there are no enabling environments for the person to work at. The unemployment situation,
it will worsen.
It will worsen.
Every time because Nana me ba unche first. Me no be di Nkommo. Na me no di Nkommo be say 1 2 3 times. Na won share that man me response bia. Honorable Dr. Aduchum, education minister. Doc, ni eni say wo de nka wo US now wo school and am a boy. And I don't think say label the parts of a shoe no and na now chire and as we teacher for nation kwara di America.
No, but labeling parts of a shoe
me
am before na label be.
Na ma menka bibi nchiro. Wo select two ministers na ya hye da hwe. And stop putting round pegs in friends and square pegs in round holes. But me I wouldn't buy a friends and Matthew Poku Prempe. Nana or a dentist. Me think I seen wo too and also you saw very Minister of Education. Nana was obey any mapoto and okoye. Ye did not call Energy Ministry. Light dumunne or say ye repair grid. Ne in a friends light poles abubu. Enunti ne ya den we dum na e friends dum ni sie nana ye educational sector no agu going Methodist are sorry them ye the domato so prime ye agu nana ye sure somewhere in 1998-99 10 regions ni nyina technical schools. What are we teaching our children? Nana come here when it comes to education nana what bubu nu asu aso producer fanana to me nchen ma me na me ne nkasa fane to nchen na me ne nkasa na mani abre normally nka ye be sha ase a ene ye kasa ye ne nana kasa but eniema ya bubo su nyina no nana won share dan nya wo pepa bi say why ready so be solve unemployment issues in Ghana nana ka 2.5 years so less than 2.5 years when we 8 years so ko na beto achim krum wo baby nana colleges of education first think there was 38 of them teacher ni e wo PS2 PS3 or your methodology methods and no kwa bontin o de kwa kira kwara ade and colleges of education yenya 47 of them kevas enka hu Winneba enka hu kanene enka wo University of Education Winneba. And the Kumasi campus or Mampong campus, what are we preparing to teach our children? Nana ya na me ya say obeko ministries build departments and agencies and kwakura etiti ho wa bre wo twa de kwampo wontimi nchuro. Nana wa the advice of presidential advice about your friend saying yawo osafo mafu. Papa no Wananti kwa nana wa bre wo sheko tukwo wontimi hye nana ne sa ni pe wo so otufo na ekobasi education system nana agrand to a halt nana e dear potting o dey the next 10 years SDG goals sustainable development goals on education nana akabes tonabro 8 years na aso 2030 what have we done to assist our children? These are some of the issues and you can want nana no person be GD. It's a shame. You get various curriculum first new curriculum research and development division and nababe naka. What are we doing to assist? Nana we somebody you me the anime cultural. Nana 2019 what did we buy naka the friends revised curriculum e buy. Nana countdown 2019 2020 2021 2022 mini away. Nana there is no single government textbook and edition kware there. Na na obeka ya sha asie ena e kan so from 1 for na classes for eba be wie form 1 ye the new curriculum ena eba be kire ade form 1 for na ne wo ho no eno the new curriculum na teachers in this particular country called Ghana extra there for 6 continuous months baby I say so omunya then U10 yes and come back to their pamda da na e de kire nkwara ade no what are we teaching them? Nana, why can't you take a single bold decision to restore the collapsed image of Ghana Education Service? Nana will not believe, say Ghana Education Service, there is nothing like that, and I call it Ghana Empty Service. Because all the leaders over there, Nana, they are total bulldogs, they cannot speak anything to power. And so, GS, implementing body. About the Ministry of Education, policy formulators. Normally, they are back down Ghana Education Service. Now, we want implementing policies. Now, various friends and municipal metro education office. Now, Cisco service providers. We must also add the various basic schools. Now, what are you teaching our children? And now, we GHS. We set a simple question. What are we teaching them? Nana, a side time see a very revised educational curriculum na e di chire Go to school, send any or predecessor, and John Evans Satamos, no way. Go down to public schools, go down to private schools, a friend saying model schools. Go and teach them. Nana one person, Okwanwa so Pokwa Mankwansa, Okwanwa so Dr. Aduchumunsa, go down to the public schools. And a quality classroom, would you have a better answer? Nana, what about what is the essence of Get Fund? Nana, no for baby, 3 more baby. Nana, at that for no or try, dear. What are we teaching them? No furniture. You know, think I Get Fund. And buy and cannot never society. I couldn't have paid door desk saying 100 Ghana cedis. We cannot provide. Nana, so back I would have watch it. Said we were near free. Kwame Nkrumah time accelerated development plan on education 1951, Ninamwa Besi 1961, 1974, 1987 the concept of JHS and as JSS, FQ. Nana ni nyina ba befam. Nana everyone Anamwa committee by the Jobo committee by various educational reforms by Nana Beka Omampani Kufuor time ye the white paper report on education. What have you done about it? You see, Nana come here and say, oh yeah, you say baby, I'm moving in the Padudu free no. Your various clients on beto abama. These are the areas I'm going to pray. When it comes to health sector, it is collapsed. When you go to educational sector, everything is collapsing. And we sit down and pride ourselves with free SHS. Indeed, free SHS is good, but look at the quality of it. Nana, you're revising Niama Kakra. Ubeko, Nana, Ubeko, the very tertiary institutions. So, my ano motiti hono, Esre, a friend, a research allowance. Nana, idea will be the child there 10 years ago, the same note. And what the child there. Nana, one more research BL, no single research. Professor John couldn't account for no single research. What we call lecture hall, no, I caught them the auditor at 1975. Friends, Gold Coast side, who built a friends a Kolebu teaching hospital, God is back. Nana, who established the educational policies of Ghana? Nana, it's a shame. Now, who built the railway line from Winnie Valley to Wang Niakan, who built Kolebu teaching hospital, Niakan, who built this castle, for James, Wang Alexandria, Niakan, Pasani, in this era of industrialization. Now, can say we are moving, we are driving away from taxation to industrialization. We have a whole colleges of education. Now almost 30 years answer. Yeah, because Shatawale nyom. Shatawale asimbia okan. Nanani akokan say label the parts of a shoe. I mean how? Council
of States.
No, good. So let me say. Let me say. No, we are able to gather the sense of amount. Here they are coming part 31. I mean, no, you're going to see a buy. Nana, everybody would have thought, say, would you encounter a French? Tell me now, Bani, me desim, Nana over. So I saw what a French. Only about also to French. I do back with friends, Kwame Adukufo. Nana also to French. Because one can remember who said, because I met him in Dakar. At the time, I'm here to consulate of Ghana. Nana, he spoke a very good French. What have you done about French education in Ghana? And also called Dakar Umwe. Oko Cote d'Ivoire Umwe. Now call Niger in the Burkina Faso who say they business studying English language. Come to our part of the world. Go to Togo. Now what France? Who say French for one more course English language. Near to Ghana and say even our educational system is collapsed. Now we work on JHS 1 to 3 or about 9 subjects. I mean what the question now call back only be quantitative, no qualitative, near history, near geography, near English language, near bear maths, kakra or baby as if 4 or 5 subjects. And we live in the country across 9 years or 9 subjects. Nana, how? How possible? No, as I call the reckless and the useless secondary school. Now we have several exam papers. Now we feel back pay. Yes, want to be in university. I mean how? Now identifying me and redesigning the curriculum of the country's educational sector. Now also this all semester program by name there. Now someone I am me ya into me transfer me person me catch it all. adan ne wo di semester examination ne friends say semester ne ba ye no na ye ntimi kan say e bi akwara we secondary school first semester na e bi exam so no e ye be 16 papers na 16 subjects compa one throw be say 3 now they are second semester no okoduru oso a no atro be say 3 out of 16 no na ka 10 na no okọ second year na bia 3 na no so 6 na besin akọ na ka bia 4 na ka third year no je a friend say SSS 3 no na wakoye 4 no wa specialize or the university a wakoye specialization ho enti bia kwara no beko second friend say university no first year no na e bia wakoye doctor wakoye lawyer e ho no law kwampo ye den learn and apply wisdom LAW. Now we have lawyers in the country who can never even apply law. Learn, apply wisdom. They cannot never apply the wisdom. And so we have lawyers at the Supreme Court. One more total, there's a template need daho. On the court judge case or court or Supreme Court or whatever it is, a baby, you know, the same number. Always whatever 7 against 0. Nana meyama kai headmistress be report, one throw report, and na say onya court metro meeting pe. Na yebisa no, madam, where you were infant or report were infant or say the same issue. Now we should get serious as a country. Let's revise our curriculum. Now say I'm fact your man napono or person was swago LGBTQ. E kokko share curriculum system. Ya ma ya ni amre na nanka odi buy. Ya 2 or 4. Na na de ya wo yesa. And now call JHS 1 to 3 and I say, me prof, I teach English and French. Now a child cannot even write simple English, construct simple sentences. Go to JHS 2, shambolic. Go to JHS 3, or control BC, when you're 35, friend aggregate 35. Yes, so from secondary school. Now no papa be present almost from a good school, secondary school, grade A secondary school, they should be able to admit and money aggregate 35. I mean how? 35. No akot now. We are no akot university. Common essay, untiminchro, permission letter, untiminchro. Once we have several parliamentarians or absenting from parliament, permission letter, untiminchro. Because akwara no JSS no send the papo no purported parliamentarian no all JSS went me asua say na e permission letter wo call secondary school no friends ba ku yekrampo formal letter went me asua wo call university academic right went me anye advanced academic right no call university wanye bi wa doje wo ko tu esika wo ko university wo call parliament house 15 days no e dia ma omo no say bia went me anko for consecutive number of days but throw notify friends speaker of parliament no na want me anchoro. Why are we being so wicked to Ghana's educational system? Now let's revise it. Now let's revise the country's educational system. Agu, it is dead. What are we doing? Now, for the last time I make us ask me actually, Nana Danko Kufuado, Nana Musa, why you want Nana when you break. And so I'm telling you, 2019, curriculum on the buy, Nana Shelley Yeni, na Bibia and Conkain. Me dey Kwame Ampadu ye beto asa Nkommo yi so e bia next week Tuesday 7 p.m. ye beko na Wednesday so aba beto aso but in the meantime no say enano mo enjoy Abraham Ben Moshe you enjoyed him manchia tie ahwefo mo amotie mo di na chi mo send mo comment ye beda mo nyina ase na no so mo enjoy Ivan some mo enjoy no ho don't worry ye normally ye kwa ye na say ye bon san na yaka ye beji nti na ya das de dawo ye tempo anu ni ye te anwea mu anisa enti repeat ya dwen mo ho nyame adom a wo kira sankrofo mienu yi Abraham Ben Moshe woni ni nua be maketo a Ivan wo mu nyina ba fidie mu live enti morning show no be ye de menche ju wa fidie no koto ba bia ko wanu ho sankrofo ya mu ba ya mu from who seniors no enye hwe no mo ye fa fidie no to active television na yen di juma no na yen kasam ne sene etie yen de ka be the same the next 1 year no Ghana will transform na bibia akonkan ama yen nyina yen ni age into ochina Abraham Ben Moshe o beba saa so na Ivan omudi ni kranka ya so ageni Ivan and Abraham omumiru nyina omuba the superpowers tomorrow yen shia omo hanse me dey Kwame Ampadu ma member ma pamfo te we 30 seconds ne yen sorry Ajenim.
Okay, me quick one. Report I hear say you Muslim for mbeko Hajj.
Okay.
Now before Abanwe Eba Power na Hajj scan near 11,900.
And they're doing.
And now almost the call 19,500.
And they're doing.
2020 almost the call 90. Then after Hajj on Babeko no, they are call 39,000.
Yeah, unko.
39,000. So let's try and say how much on person mo call Hajj na 39,000 there. No boy dey my no Muslim for. Nti omo won dey anyem bi fa ho. Ema omo 39,000 there no boy dey too.
Covid abo. Nka me sin kai better so. Minia, Madiba.
In some way catch me that say dey ma NDC penny for say ye twen especially amasa man cause so say registration na e cause no say o ma standing am aye.
Okay.
Nti no o mo hwe no mo fa nyama entitu yi.
Ya me adom the next week you have a translate dey
for. Ya na hwe yi hu sa nyama na nyina so. Enchi ankoma me kin back onyanka.
Okay. Ati.
From Abula Piam.
Mate, mame ena wase eye Owura Madiba ena yetene kan no oye NDC communication team member ewo Amasaman enkran he yado obutuo. Sa so na menua eye agene mboaten ya na yetahu na anopa anyimre de mehunu obeye wa hanse waba beboa amadwumade ni nyina akwa so fine abayiwa wono so echinchim camera no sa so na eye floor manager Chechabu Peter ono so eba beboa yen eda face apostle general nankasa ne nankasa wo two recover studio akwa up and down ono so aba beboa sa so MCR too sweet ono so ne chinchin fidie no efru mama yede dwumadie ebro na hye no so ma me say eye promotional drive no advertisement no za ye koso yeguso ebia na first na ka 2,000 o de 200 cedis kwa fabra ye be yama ye be demystify advertising Ghana and obi hu say oh ko ya advert TV station active TV crowd unya 200 cedis 500 cedis ba ye be bo oneman ho dawuro ama bibia akọ enkan me di kwame ampadu me na me di dwumadie ho chiame nyame adom a ochina no pa ye be sen ehia Abraham Bemboshe Ivan Chimensa ye gina ba bihia na yaka odo abom de Ghana akọ awie pa me da wasesa o hwe dwumadie ye frɛ me kwame makrao